welcome back to Posh and Plastic. I'm your host, Kylie, and this is your other host, the Timmy to my Trixie, Amber.
Hi guys.
I had this thought the other day, and I was wondering, like, how you felt about this. So the other day I was walking by the river, and I don't want to call them kids, like Gen Z's, like full adults now and part of our society. But I was on the path and they like cut me off as we were going around a big puddle. They came from behind me and cut me off, and I was like, oh, how rude. I looked at them and they both had like round glasses, and the girl had this tree branch for a walking stick, and I was like, oh, they definitely know each other's Hogwarts houses. And then I started thinking, I was like, is Harry Potter more of a Gen Z thing or more of a millennial thing? Because the books came out when we were kids, but the movies came out when they were kids. So I'm just wondering which generation is bigger on Harry Potter.
That's
And
a
I
good
wanted to see what you
question.
thought.
Okay, that's a good question. And you've got me thinking, because here, at first, I was going to say it's definitely millennials, but at the same time, they have the whole prequel series that they're coming up on now, too,
True.
with like the Secrets of Dumbledore and all that stuff. So I. I don't know, I was pretty nerdy about it. I mean, I used to get excited when the books came out and then converted over to the movies. But yeah, I'm gonna say millennials still, just because I mean we're the
Okay.
OGs. We like I
Yeah.
said, we waited for those books to come out and get published, and then we converted to the movies. I don't even think Gen Z's probably read the books, half of them.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I wasn't allowed to read them as a kid, and I think I was like 24 the first time I ever read Sorcerer's Stone. And I haven't seen the movies. Not that I don't want to, it's just I don't have the attention span for a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah,
So I haven't gotten around to it yet.
and I don't blame you on that either. I don't think I have that attention span anymore. So maybe I guess maybe it's teetering as far as like fans go as going forward. I think we were bigger fans originally, and maybe now we're passing that baton on with them to take the on with the prequel and stuff because I really don't have the attention span to sit and watch like a marathon anymore either. I couldn't, the books got up to the thousands when it came to some of the pages. I can't sit there and read that long.
Yeah, I think that's the one I left off on was Goblet of Fire. It's like maybe a third of the way read through from
Hmm.
like 5 years ago. And sometimes I'll pick it up and read a few chapters and then I get bored of it because it's just so long.
That's really where the last bit of like magic for me, and I say magic lightly, that's like the lighthearted magic part. After that, it really starts getting into like the lore of everything, I feel, and it starts getting really complex and it becomes a little bit more adult from like maybe halfway into the fourth onward. I think you're good where you're at. You kept it light, bright, and beautiful. Preserve that good part of Harry Potter.
It's always a Voldemort versus Harry at the end of the books.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what your house is?
Yeah. Do
Well,
you?
do you just pick it, right? Or is there a way to find out?
Yeah, you could just pick it. Like for the most part, most people did, but there's some website and I forget the name of it. I think it's like Pottermore or something. And there's like a wow. No, sorting hat. Why can't I talk? And you go through
Okay.
like questions, it'll ask you certain things, then it sorts you.
I kind of want to try it really quick. So, what is your house?
So I'm a Ravenclaw.
Okay, that's what I feel like I am as well. It's like, I know I'm not a Slytherin. I don't feel like I'm a Hufflepuff. But I'm definitely not a Gryffindor because when I think of Gryffindors, I think like heroic. Like, I'm not a hero. If I were in a horror movie, I wouldn't be the first dead, but I wouldn't be the survivor either. I'd probably be like someone to die in the middle or
Yeah,
towards the
same.
end. Like, I'm not living, but I've got a brain. So that's my reasoning on being Ravenclaw.
That's kind of my thing too. No one's trying to be a hero over here either. Like I'm just trying to live my life and hoping that my brains will get me far enough in my logic.
This is why we get along.
Exactly.
Okay, guys. Well, we should probably get into our episode. So wind up, wind down, and let's press rewind. So, a big part of pop culture in the 90s was the heartthrobs we all knew and loved. And in the spirit of Valentine's Day and celebrating love, today I will be discussing some of our favorite heartthrobs from the 90s. And the list obviously goes on and on and on. So we're not going to cover them all today. And some on and off the list will either have their own episodes or will be a huge part of future episodes. So don't worry, this is not the only time you're going to be hearing about these people on this podcast. I just have to keep it brief today, so we're just going to run through. In the spirit of the 90s, we're doing the top 10 chicks and dudes. Let's roll into it, ladies first. I'm going to preface this before I go into these rankings mean nothing. Like, I had such a hard time putting these in any order and like eliminating people. So just don't get mad at me because it's not where you would rank people. I love all of these people or they wouldn't be on the list. But number 10 is Drew Barrymore. So Drew was a child star, beloved by the public at a very early age after her role as Gertie in the Steven Spielberg film E.T. She had a rough upbringing, but she came out on top in the end. In the 90s, she starred in many hit movies, including Batman Forever, The Wedding Singer, Ever After, and Never Been Kissed. And she also had 5 minutes or less in the slasher horror film Scream. And though she had such a small role, she was still listed on the movie poster with the lead credit. So she's made a name for herself. Drew has stayed loved by all by being genuine, open hearted, and kind to others. And her openness about her struggles has made her relatable. And she's given an inside look into the struggles that come with being a child star.
Oh my god, Ever After. I forgot about Ever After as a movie, so you definitely like brought that back up, but forgot how influential she really was in the 90s. It is her 5 seconds in Scream is definitely iconic.
Right? I remember the first time watching it and I was like, that's it? That's all we're gonna get of her? Like, she's
Yeah.
literally listed as one of the top builds.
I know, right? Which we know now. Usually, it's like the person who's listed as the top credit is going to be like the top person to die in a scary movie. So shout out to Drew for letting us learn that.
Number 9 is Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston rose to star-studded fame when she was casted as Rachel in the hit sitcom Friends. Rachel was the pretty rich, clueless girl who was basically thrown out and cut off from daddy's funds. America grew to love Rachel as they watched her character grow and become independent, but everyone also loved Jennifer for her tan skin, beauty, and always gorgeous hair. She's specifically known for the layered hairstyle that was even trademarked as the Rachel, which is making a huge comeback right now. Before her Friends fame, she starred in a number of things like the cheesy horror film Leprechaun, and once Friends was a huge hit, she starred as the lead in a handful of romantic comedies, including Picture Perfect and The Object of My Affection with Paul Rudd. Jen is the kind of gal you either want to be or be with.
The Rachel, I got the Rachel. I had it a couple of times. I definitely did. I mean, she was the start of the layered cuts that we got in the
Mm-hmm.
2000s after we really modeled it after the Rachel. Did you get the Rachel?
Oh yeah, like I layers. I've always had layers for the most part because that's what fits me the best.
Hmm.
But I'm currently trying to grow out my hair so I can do like the longer Rachel.
Yeah.
If I keep like the Rachel, my hair's never gonna grow out, and I want it long for right now. So I'm working on it.
That's so funny. We're going opposite because I grew my hair all the way out in the last year. So, like, my hair is back right now for those who are watching
Yeah,
on YouTube, but it's all the way down my back. And I'm getting ready to basically cut mine and then do the face framing. I'm going full Rachel basically again.
we'll do the two different Rachels. Number 8 is Britney Spears. Britney Spears rose to fame in the later 90s with her debut hit Baby One More Time, and the iconic schoolgirl music video was played on MTV's TRL. After that, she continued to release hit after hit with You Drive Me Crazy and Sometimes. Not only was Britney an incredible singer, she was also a talented dancer. For concerts and music videos, she was the perfect dream as she could do it all. And she was also known for her blonde hair and winning smile. Before her blow up debut in 1998, she also starred on MMC, the new Mickey Mouse Club, and competed on various talent shows such as Star Search. Britney brought the total package to the entertainment industry while also being America's girl next door.
We stan Brittany. I mean,
I mean, we have an entire episode on her, which I forgot to bring up, guys. Today is the last day to get your reviews and ratings in to be entered into our giveaway, and the prizes are all right here. I'm not going to go through them right now because we're in the middle of our segment, but go onto our Instagram for them. But I think we are going to extend our offer, though. If you don't qualify for that giveaway, still give us a rating and review, preferably 5 stars, and send us a screenshot, and we will send you the link to our Britney Spears episode. So that will continue.
yeah, I don't think we need to say any more there because we like we said, we had plenty to say. We love Britney Spears.
Number 7 is Brandy Norwood, also known as Brandy. She is another sweetheart in pop culture. At the age of 15, Brandy released her self titled debut album with her hit debut song, I Want to Be Down. Her voice, being so good but also soft and sweet, won over the hearts of fans, and she became a huge sensation. Brandy also starred in her own sitcom, Moesha, and made history in the role as Cinderella in the Wonderful World of Disney's special feature, Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella, with the legendary Whitney Houston starring as her fairy godmother. And I did not do any research for this, it's just like in my noggin is memory, but I remember having a Brandy doll, and I want to say she had two. I want to say she had a Moesha one and a Cinderella one, and I had the Moesha one.
Actually, you know what? I think I remember her Barbie one. I don't remember the Moesha one because I remember everything about her Barbie when the movie came out and everything for her when she was
Yeah,
Cinderella, and I so vividly remember her in like her iconic dress.
yeah. So I think they came out at the same time, so
Okay.
you could like they release more than one doll and you want them all, but your mom's only buying you one.
Yep. So it was like collect 'em all type of deal. That was very 90s to like have
Yes.
a collection and collect it all.
Number 6 is Alicia Silverstone. Alicia Silverstone was an absolute icon in the 90s. She was known for being a natural beauty, and honestly, look her up today because she looks the same. She has long blonde hair, blue eyes, and a charming smile. She also stood out for her voice, as it's very unique, but it really shows vulnerability and sincerity. She's best known for her role as Cher in Clueless, which was a movie and later developed into a TV show, but she was not in it. She's also known for her role as Batgirl in Batman and Robin, Jennifer in The Babysitter, and Mary in True Crime. So number 5 is Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet is best known for her role as Denise in The Cosby Show, playing the second born of the Huxtable children, and for the most part, the eldest in the house until her older sister Sandra returned. She later got her own spin off, A Different World, and then later returned to The Cosby Show, where, shout out, she played Raven's stepmother. She stood out to many for her unique style and ethereal beauty. And if you do not know, she's also mother of Zoe Kravitz, and they look so alike, it's uncanny. She's also starred in movies like Enemy of the State and High Fidelity. She received a lot of backlash in the 90s for not being traditional. So I'm giving her flowers today because she really is gorgeous.
She is, and I mean, and her daughter too, Zoe. Have you seen her? Like, I mean, she's stunning too.
Yeah, it's crazy. She is the perfect hybrid of both of her parents.
I know,
It's wild.
right? And by the way, did you know she's engaged to Channing Tatum? I think they're
Oh,
engaged.
Zoe Kravitz. Yes. I saw that and I didn't even know they were dating. And I was like, "What?" But I don't hate it.
Yeah, so I forgot because I remember like when they first did start dating, it was like rumors swirling, and then they did show up on like some red carpet together with that see-through dress she had or whatever. I can't remember if it was beads or if it was like diamonds or gems. I think it was the Met Gala last year or the year or a couple years ago.
So number 4 is Danielle Fishel, better known as Topanga Lawrence on Boy Meets World. Could not leave her out. Danielle Fishel was every adolescent boy's crush in the 90s. She was known for her unique yet stunning appearance, always looking like she just got back from summer vacation with her tan skin, luscious lips, light eyes, and amazing hair. Thick, long, golden locks. She was certainly known for her hair. Danielle Fishel took on the role as Topanga and is really known for that, although she's done some other projects. Being the it girl she was, she also got to date a number of teen heartthrobs, such as Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Matthew Lawrence, and Devin Sawa. She also famously dated Lance Bass for a minute. So we all know how that ended up. But they're actually really good friends now and they joke about it.
Oh my God, though, when you said her hair, I mean, as soon as you were like just describing her, I was like, oh my God, forget it, because her hair was everything. She had volume, she had thickness, like, and then she styled it, and I was always like, I want her hair. The crimping.
Yes. So actually, because I listened to her podcast, the Pod Meets World, it wasn't a crimper. Her mother would braid her hair in tiny little braids the night before they would record.
Shut up. Wow.
And with her hair, imagine how long it took.
Oh, I can't even, because I would braid my hair, but not that small, because I wanted waves in my hair too, but not that, and I
Yeah.
can't even imagine.
Number 3 is Sarah Michelle Gellar. She was a true icon of the 90s, as she is best known for her role on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She also starred in a handful of great cult classics like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Cruel Intentions alongside Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Phillippe. I normally don't want to be talking about people's personal business on this podcast. However, this relationship is like 20 plus years strong in public, so I can't not talk about this. She's married to the equally heartthrobby Freddie Prinze Jr. They began dating in the 90s and were iconic, separate and together. And it's really sweet to see them still married today.
Yes. I think I think she's probably Eric's heartthrob. He loved Buffy and Angel. So I think this is Eric's heartthrob of the 90s for sure.
Number 2 is Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt was definitely an object of affection for many young guys in the 90s. I personally knew her from the iconic Barbie workout video. Have you seen this?
Uh-uh.
So yeah, I don't know why, but my parents bought me this Barbie workout video, and she was on it.
Hmm.
She just went by love in this, and I think that is what she goes by in her personal life. One of her first bigger roles was in Sister Act 2, and she also starred in the drama series Party of Five. She was also in I Know What You Did Last Summer with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr., and she shared the screen in the sequel with Freddie and another fellow heartthrob on this list, Brandy. She also guest starred on Boy Meets World in the iconic Scream inspired episode as Jennifer Love Pfefferman. In addition to her acting, she had a single, Bare Naked, which is actually a really good song. I love that song so much.
What song is that? Wait, I don't remember this.
I can't remember the words, but she's like, I'm bare naked and I just can't take it, or something like that.
Oh, I
And
feel like I
I
know that
would
song.
compare it to like a Michelle Branchy vibe.
Yeah, that's what I was going to compare it to too.
Yeah, so
Okay, I've probably heard
it's
it.
it's a good song. Number 1 is Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Do you know who that is?
Oh, no. Who is
By
that?
then,
Wait. I'm not going to guess. I'm bad at guessing.
Kelly Kapowski.
That's who I thought it was, but I didn't want to guess
Yeah.
it and be wrong.
Yes, Kelly Kapowski has to be number 1 on this list. Even to this day, many youngsters recognize the beauty that Tiffany Thiessen is. Tiffany is best known as Kelly on the iconic 90s TV show Saved by the Bell. And this bombshell beauty was the crush of many with her tan skin, dark hair, and piercing blue eyes, not to mention her great smile. And she stuck through the Saved by the Bell franchise till the end and also did a number of guest star roles in iconic 90s shows such as Blossom and Step by Step. After Saved by the Bell, she did a number of TV movies in the 90s and even recently has come back to work on the reboot of Saved by the Bell.
Another I think heartthrob of Eric's. He was a Saved by the Bell guy too.
Okay, we are moving on. Girls, get ready. We are on the top 10 dudes. So, number 10 was my biggest crush. It was Mike Vitar. If you don't know who that is, aka Benny the Jet Rodriguez from The Sandlot. Did you ever watch that movie?
I saw that, yeah, but I'm not picking. I need to see him. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, definitely, yep.
Yes, I had to throw this one in here because I know this was most young girls' sexual awakening back then. So Mike Vitar played Vinny the Jet Rodriguez. He was the stud muffin star player on the street team in the 1993 film The Sandlot, and I feel like whoever directed The Sandlot knew what they were doing when they did the up and down body shot when the saxophone solo started playing. They introduced his character while they were playing ball. It's kind of creepy because he was like 13, but I didn't mind back then. His acting career wasn't very long, but he also was in the second and third movies of the Mighty Ducks movie franchise. And as an adult, he became a firefighter, and his last acting credit was in 1997. So, our next little hottie on our list is number 9, Usher Raymond, our feature of last week's episode. So much like Brandy, Usher released his self-titled debut album at the age of 15. I would love him to collab with Brandy. I'm just going to
Yeah.
put that in the universe. But he gained popularity in 1997 when his lyrics were a tad bit more appropriate for his age, as Amber has discussed. And he came up with the songs My Way, You Make Me Wanna, and Nice and Slow. While Usher's career was based off of his singing, he is also known for his dancing as well. A true star, a true icon.
We stand. I mean, literally. He was definitely the 90s.
Tune into last week's episode if you want to know how we feel about Usher. Number 8 is Andrew Keegan. Andrew Keegan may possibly not be a name you know, but you've more than likely seen his face in something from the 90s. He was everywhere, doing guest roles in Full House, Baywatch, Moesha, Step by Step, and Boy Meets World. He would usually play a love interest or a crush, which we could totally understand why. He also played in movies as a kid like Camp Nowhere and the 90s version of Freaky Friday. Yes, there was a remake in the 90s too. And he also had a recurring role for 8 episodes in Party of 5.
I don't remember him.
Look
I
him
guess,
up.
but yeah, I was gonna say, what was his name again?
Andrew Keegan. Because
Andrew
once
Keegan.
once you see him, you're like, oh, this guy.
I was gonna say his name sounds familiar. I just don't know. Well, that's you as an adult, sir. Oh, yeah. Okay, I was gonna say. It's because as an adult, he doesn't have long hair, but he had like the surfer hair when he was younger.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So number 7 is Mario Lopez, another Saved by the Bell alum that's made it onto our list. He got his start in the 80s on a show called Kids Incorporated. I highly recommend searching this show if you have not heard of it or have not watched it. I grew up watching it and didn't realize that the people that are on it are the people we know today. You'll catch him. He's adorable. He plays the drums on the show, and a young Fergie is also on the show. So it's pretty iconic.
I mean, his little dimples.
I know, he's so cute. Yeah, I've seen some footage from the show, and He looks exactly the same.
Yeah. It's
It's
crazy.
wild. His first role that really broke him out into the limelight was AC Slater on Saved by the Bell, in which he also involved in the reboot. His resume is very extensive, as we all know. He's everywhere. He never quits. His longest role is probably as host of Entertainment Tonight, and he does a lot of hosting and acting, which nobody really minds looking at him. Number 6 is Ryder Strong. Ryder Strong is best known as Sean Hunter from the hit series Boy Meets World. Most people love the character Sean because he was a troubled but deep down a good kid and was a great friend to Corey. And Ryder Strong was also known as a teen heartthrob with great hair. He did a lot of guest roles on the series until he landed his role in Boy Meets World, where he worked for 7 seasons. He also did a Disney special called Summertime Switch. So I feel like we love Ryder and Sean equally, both the character
Oh
and the
yeah,
actor.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And definitely shout out to his hair because he definitely had the 90s teen throb flip hair.
He did. he, like he is like when I think of that haircut all the boys had, he's like the first that comes to mind.
Same.
Number 5, we have Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is just as much of a heartthrob today as he was in the 90s. The thing about Keanu is he isn't just a good looking guy, but he's a very kind person. Personal story, a friend of mine was actually working for someone who knew him on a personal level, and he was like on the phone, like on speaker, and her boss had left the room and just left Keanu on speaker. And my friend was in the room and hears him say hello. And they ended up talking for a while until her boss came back. And she said he was like so easygoing and so nice. Like they had a full on conversation.
Wow, that's so cool. It's cool to know like because you know like actors and celebrities are just people, right? We all know that, but it's like
Right.
it's cool to know some people are just down to earth and just super chill like that.
And like you hear these nice stories about him, but me hearing it from someone I knew, it's like, oh, that's real. He
Yeah.
actually is a kind person. So although he's gotten a number of projects that have been hits in the 90s, he was best known for Speed and the Matrix franchise. And not only is he a dreamboat, but he's also a great actor. Number 4 is Freddie Prinze Jr. I could not have Sarah Michelle Gellar on this list and not include her hubby, which was a huge heartthrob in the 90s. Freddie Prinze Jr. was a big name in the 90s, and teen girls loved him. As I mentioned, he did I Know What You Did Last Summer, and surprisingly, that was his first real big break. He
Oh.
did do an episode of Family Matters before that, which was his first ever acting credit. I thought he was big before this, before I Know What You Did Last Summer, but
Mhm.
I guess not. He went on to do I Still Know What You Did Last Summer and She's All That in the 90s. And he also was in the music video for Sixpence None the Richer's song Kiss Me. While every girl adored him, they couldn't hate Sarah Michelle Gellar for dating him because they were and are so perfect together.
I think that was it, right? Like there was no hate whatsoever because it
Yeah.
clicked so perfectly that it was like okay, fine.
Yes, like they're both objectively attractive and sweet and just destined to be together.
Exactly.
Number 3 is Will Smith. I know we had Slapgate, but just we are living in the 90s right now, guys, so cut me some slack. So Will Smith himself was an icon in the 90s. He started in the rap world known as the Fresh Prince until he started his acting career with his own show titled The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is so iconic. I know people who don't know much about the show, but they know the entirety of the theme song. Will played a ladies' man in the show, and in real life, the girls loved him as well. He did a handful of guest stars where he played himself and broke out onto the big screen in the film Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence and continued his movie success with the blockbuster hits such as Independence Day and Men in Black.
Yeah, I can still definitely do the entire intro of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh yeah.
It's an earworm occasionally where I'll just sing it.
Leonardo DiCaprio is number two. It was really close when it came to being number one and number two spots for this countdown. Leonardo DiCaprio, or as the girls would call him, Leo, was the apple of all the girls' eye in the 90s. He started out in the family sitcom Growing Pains, giving Kirk Cameron a run for his money when it came to being the cutie on the camera. He then began booking roles on the big screen. He was in Marvin's Room alongside Diane Keaton and Meryl Streep, two legends in themselves. And the two iconic movies of the 90s he starred in being Titanic and the modernized telling of Romeo and Juliet. Every girl wished that he could be their Jack or Romeo.
Yes. Oh my God. I I remember there were a couple different like plays or movies of Romeo and Juliet, and they would play them in school after we read the play. And we always hoped it was going to be the Leo one, and they never gave it to us.
I never watched that movie as a kid, but in my freshman year English class, we read the play and then my teacher had us watch that version. And
Really? See, you had better
yeah, it was
English teachers. Freshman year of high school, I got the worst English teacher, and I was like, great, I never have to have her again.
oh
She converted to a senior English teacher, and I got her my
no.
senior year.
She feenied you.
She did. It was so, but it was so bad because Feeny was at least a good teacher. Like,
Yeah.
she she basically like wanted to fail people for forgetting to put a comma somewhere.
So wrapping up that way we can get to the 2000s. Number one is Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Jonathan Taylor Thomas was another boy from the 90s that was heavily adored by girls all over, also known as JTT. He is probably best known for his role as Randy in Home Improvement, where he got to exercise his great acting skills and could pass as Tim Allen's son. He did a number of movies with Disney, such as Man of the House and Tom and Huck, but one of his most notable roles was playing the speaking voice of young Simba in the original rendition of Disney's The Lion King. As he got older, he faded out of the limelight, doing acting roles very sporadically. I know he did Eight Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. His last credit was in 2015 in Tim Allen's show Last Man Standing, and the cutie pie was on the cover of all the teen magazines. He even had his own calendar, and he wins number one on our list.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely number one.
So that is my list. Thank you all for entertaining me. And
Loved it.
yeah, tell us which one of our little hotties you want to be your Valentine. All right, Amber, what do you have for us today?
So because is it Valentine's week that we're releasing this?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
so the day this comes out, it will be, we're a little late, guys. Sorry, but it's the day after Valentine's Day.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so still Valentine's Day technically. Everyone's getting their half off candy today. So this is technically my Valentine's Day because everything's half off. So I wanted to bring the love too. So today, I can't even say it seriously. So today we are going to talk about Flavor of Love. Flavor Flave.
Oh, what an iconic show.
I'm so excited. So my sources today are Wikipedia, ScreenRant.com, YouTube, Biography.com, and Essence.com. So let's get into it. So we'll give a little background to Flava Flav first. So Flava Flav, whose real name is William Jonathan Drayton Jr.
No, it is not.
What a
No, it is
regal
not.
name. How regal.
What a name.
I saw this, I was like, no way. No way.
Just to change it to Flava Flav.
Which is crazy. And I mean, that's all they reference him. Whenever you like Google it, it's like Flava Flav, Flava Flav. Your mom gave you actually you're a junior he's a junior. So somebody else gave you their whole name and you said no thank you.
Exactly. Like, I know mom's pissed.
Oh, you know it. Actually, I don't know though because because she kind of was featured a little bit on Flavor of Love, so I think she's a little
You're
proud.
right. You're right. I remember her. She was like super old.
Yeah.
I
This my
wonder if she's
mom.
still alive.
Oh, I'm curious. You know what? I want to look it up real quick.
Oh, she passed away in 2013.
Oh, dang. She was awesome. So his name, which is William Jonathan Drayton Jr., he was an American rapper, a hype man, and a reality TV personality. His music career primarily associated with his role in the iconic hip hop group Public Enemy, which he co founded with Chuck D in the 1980s. Public Enemy was known for its politically charged lyrics and innovative sound. And flavor, it's so funny because we call him Flava, but it was Flavor. So they call him Flavor Flave. So a lot of it always saying Flava, but it's technically Flavor. So Flavor Flav played a crucial role in the group's hype man, providing energetic ad libs and contributing to their dynamic stage performances. So basically, he just hopped around, yeah, yeah, like a little John. Some of Public Enemy's notable albums include It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, which came out in 1988, and Fear of a Black Planet, 1990, both of which are considered classics in the hip hop genre. Flavor Flav's comedic and energetic persona, often accompanied by his trademark oversized clock necklace, made him a distinctive and memorable figure in the world of hip hop. I think it's just crazy because it sounds like, based on the research and stuff, like they're a pretty politically charged like group. They had pretty heavy things they were trying to speak on, and then you've got this guy who's like running around acting crazy with a giant clock. I mean, I guess it gets you attention. I don't know if it's the right attention.
I mean, hip hop was different back then, though,
Yeah, you're right.
when you think about the hip hop culture. So,
You're right.
I mean,
You're right. A lot has changed in music in the last 3, 4
yeah.
decades at this point. Okay, so after a hiatus from the music scene, Flavor Flav was invited to participate on VH1's reality show, The Surreal Life. During this show, he developed a relationship with actress Brigitte Nielsen. Following the conclusion of The Surreal Life, VH1 gave Flav and Nielsen see, that's Flav, so weird, a show titled Strange Life, which detailed their globetrotting adventures in love. At the end of Strange Life, Nielsen actually decided to return to her fiance, Matea Desi. And now it's time for Flavor of Love. I'm so excited. Doing research was so much fun that I may just go back and watch the whole series again because and then the spin-offs because it was just so much fun.
It's such a great
So,
show to watch.
Flavor of, oh my God. And they, like I was telling you earlier, like reality TV isn't made like this anymore. Like everything is so
No.
produced at this point, you can't get this kind of TV producing it. Flavor of Love was a reality TV dating show that premiered on VH1's Celeb reality lineup on January 1st, 2006. The show starred Flavor Flav, the rapper and member of Public Enemy, as an eligible bachelor looking for love. The format of the show was similar to The Bachelor. It featured 20 different women competing for Flavor Flav's heart, and they all lived together in a mansion in Encino, California. When I read this, I actually forgot, or I guess I didn't put it together, how they really do follow The Bachelor. I don't like The Bachelor. This is the only way I'll watch this kind of show.
Same. Like, I watched this in high school and then college or after, I don't know. But,
Yeah.
I had a handful of girls in my circle being like, it's so good. You need to watch it. And I could not.
But do you know what it is for real? Like, again, this goes back to the point I literally just made. It is far too produced, The Bachelor. You don't get good TV when you produce it too hard.
That's true. Maybe that's what it is.
For me,
These
that's
girls
what
were
it
just
is.
wild. And I'm going to let you speak on it. I'm not going to comment on how they were wild, but these
Oh,
girls were wild.
don't you even worry. We're going to talk about it and you can fully comment. Contestant slash girl was given a nickname by Flav because he claimed that he was better at remembering nicknames more so than real names. And some examples of which is so stupid, right? Just learn a name. You're learning a name or a nickname. You got to learn
I
something.
think it was for the show, like marketing
Yeah.
purposes, and I'm so here for it.
Oh my gosh, it was good. So examples of some of the names were Goldie, Hottie, Smiley, New York, Pumpkin, and Toasty. And to preface, almost all of these were spelled incorrectly, if there was even a right way to spell them.
I loved Goldie.
She was
She
so
was
good.
one of my favorites.
She was so funny. I loved her commentary. Elimination ceremonies were called clock ceremonies, where, where contestants who were not eliminated received gold clocks with their picture and nickname on the face of the clock. So they basically got their own version of Flavor Flav's clock that he hung on them. Once a contestant was eliminated, their real name was revealed, followed by a champagne toast with the remaining girls, which, savage. You literally are like, here's your real name, get out, champagne toast, clink. The show followed a typical reality dating show structure, with the contestants participating in various challenges and competitions to win intimate dates with Flav. They also brought in the parents during the final episodes and also have a season finale take place in some kind of a tropical destination. So we're very on brand with like Bachelor. Was Bachelor running at this point? I wonder when Bachelor
Oh
aired?
yeah.
Oh,
I
it
feel like
was. Okay.
we were little kids when that came out. Like that might have been the 90s. Let me look.
Okay. Ugh, we're gonna have to talk about it at some point.
We don't have to.
I mean, if we want people to keep listening to us, we might.
Oh, it started in 2002, so you
Fuck.
have fun with that one.
No, I was trying to pawn it off on you. Okay, I'll do it at some point because I feel like it is definitely like a pivotal thing that happened in the 2000s, so we have to talk about it. The show ran for 3 seasons, which you and I talked about, Kylie. I think we knew it ran for 3 seasons, but I definitely was honed in on really only the first 2.
Maybe because New York wasn't in the third.
You're so right. That's also iconic to bring her back and dump her again. First season ran from January 2006 to March 2006, with Nicole Alexander, aka Hoops, winning. Season 2 ran from August 2006 to October 2006, with Chandra Davis, aka Delicious, winning. Tiffany Pollard, aka New York, was the runner up, as we just stated, for both seasons 1 and 2. Which, like I
That
said,
girl knows how to make TV.
oh my god, I think she's also alone the reason why I want to watch, because a lot of the dramas that I went through revolves around her. And then season 3 ran from February 2008 to May 2008, which that's probably why we didn't watch. That's a 2-year gap between the show, whereas the other one ran back to back. Tresha, aka Thing 2, winning, and Candice Cabrera, aka Black, as the runner up. And she was one of the twins, Thing 2. So I guess there was twins on the 3rd season, and she was one of the ones that ended up winning. The show helped spin off a string of similar shows such as I Love New York, Rock of Love, and Real Chance at Love, as well as a bunch of others, as we mentioned.
Real Chance!
Yes!
That's the spin-off of the spin-off of this one. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. And then our secondary spin-offs, Flavor of Love, Girls, Charm School, and I Love Money. More of the interesting show moments. So I'll go with the most iconic one first. I'm not even gonna, wait. I'm gonna get with the most important one first, which was Pumpkin spitting on New York after being eliminated.
Let's go.
I think watching it is the best. Just watch. I saw a gif of it just going back and forth of her just.
That, and then New York's reaction, like her stank face with the claws.
Yes. It was so good. So, not only was it iconic to us, but it also received an award. So
Didn't.
Yes. So Pumpkin, aka Brooke Thompson, and New York, aka Tiffany Pollard, both received the Best Fight Award at the Fox Reality Awards in 2006.
Oh my gosh. No, that is, in my opinion, I've always said that is the best moment in reality TV ever.
That is my Roman Empire.
Like, yes, like I can just see it. Like I could see her spitting, and then I see New York's reaction with her claws, as I just said, and then you see Pumpkin going down with her like face bracing for impact.
Yeah.
Like, I could see the whole thing.
It was so good. Seeing it again, I was like, I swear I watched this last week. Next, we have Hottie attempting to cook an entire chicken in the microwave. I had to go back and watch this scene when I remembered it, and her chicken on the show was a hot mess. So it was like a competition or something. I can't exact. I think it was like bake the best chicken. It seems like. Um, but she was stuffing like hot dogs, carrots, noodles, and just a bunch of random stuff in her chicken. And then she basically puts it in the microwave, and because there's a chicken button, she's like, "Oh, I can cook it in here." And then she gives us an iconic line. Are you ready? This is what
I'm
she
ready.
says. She says, "I think cooking chicken in the microwave is the most sanitary thing to do because it doesn't have all the extra calories from the grease.
You could bake it in an
You could
oven.
actually cook it." Horrified by her chicken when she brings it out, and he definitely doesn't eat it, which thank God,
No.
because it's definitely not cooked. Next is another New York moment when Buck Wild throws a shoe at New York during the season 2 reunion. Do you remember this?
I do. I do.
Yep.
I love Buckwild too.
Oh my God, she was so good. So wait, somebody said something too. So one of the articles I was reading called Buck Wild, the original Cash Me Outside Girl. Yes, right? I thought about it and I was like, no. And then I watched the scene again and I was like, oh,
No, she totally is.
yes. It was so that's amazing. So the thing it was called Something Pooped on the Floor, which for the record, the nickname of one of the girls was Something. Her name was Something. Do you remember this? I didn't remember this.
So I didn't, but I've seen a clip recently, like on Reels or something, and I was like, what? I don't remember watching it on TV, but I know it happened.
I feel like this was then it must have been season 2 then. Maybe it was
Oh,
season
yeah.
3. Yeah, but
Maybe.
anyway, so basically what happens is I watch the scene and like after the clock ceremony and like right during the champagne toast, you see a girl kind of bend down and then like stand right back up. And it's like really awkward. And everyone's like, "What's going on?" And then it like cuts to them walking up the stairs and they find a turd on the stairs. And essentially this girl like popped a turd off and then on her way to the bathroom and then she like owns up to it when like Flav comes and opens the door. He's like, "Was that you?" And she's like, "Yeah, sometimes my stomach hurts and sometimes like I have to go." And then we'll round it out with a less gross one, but we'll bring it back to Hottie again because Hottie Hottie was a little bit out there. Hottie compares herself to Beyonce.
Beyonce?
Exactly. Beyonce? Beyonce? Are you kidding me?
I've seen that gif used in comments recently so perfectly.
Yes. For those who don't know, New York and Hottie were fighting. Basically, New York was saying that she thought that Hottie could have potentially stolen her jacket, and they were going back and forth. And then cue to Hottie officially cracking and giving us the iconic quote of, "All my friends who know me tell me that I remind them of Beyonce." And all the girls immediately just start losing their damn minds. Oh my God, it's just so good.
And then, of
Beyonce?
course, New York. Yeah, she's Beyonce?
And then she goes, "I'm sorry, Beyonce. I'm sorry she's insulting you like this." And then just to round out, I saw some stuff of like some of the people who were on the show and like what they're doing now. Hoops, soon after the show aired, Hoops and Flav broke up. She went on to compete and win in the show I Love Money, the first season. And then she was also she dated and was engaged to Shaquille O'Neal at one point. Delicious. Sorry, I said that really weird because the name is spelled really
It's
funny.
DEE, right?
Yeah, it's Deelishis. So it's like delicious. She was the winner of season 2. She and Flav also broke up recently after the season ended. And then she went on to appear on I Love Money 3, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and she also went on to star in several hip hop music videos. And she is currently working on being an influencer. Thing 2, she was the winner of season 3, and then she was promptly dumped at the reunion when Flav decided to reunite with Liz, who was the mother of his 7th child, Karma. And then to round out our two faves, of course, New York. She was our runner up for seasons 1 and 2. And then she appeared on her own dating show, I Love New York, which ran for 2 seasons, as well as New York Goes to Hollywood and New York Goes to Work. She also appeared on Celebrity X on the Beach in 2020 and House of Villains most recently.
Yes, and she is amazing in that show.
Still just as iconic as ever, which is why we shouted out because, yeah, she definitely didn't slow down. Pumpkin. So she was third place on season 1, as we know, and infamous for spitting on New York. She actually lives a pretty normal life, and that's why I bring her up compared to everybody else. So, because I don't know why, but I thought she would be doing something more interesting after her whole like spitting and getting an award for fighting. But she's just an accountant. She works for an accountant firm in Bakersville. I just didn't expect Pumpkin to go from reality TV to accounting. I feel like you go the opposite, accounting then
Yeah.
reality TV. And that's a Flavor of Love.
Yes. So we hope you had a great Valentine's Day. And if you didn't, we hope you were able to brighten your day with this episode. I think Amber beat me to this week with the Flavor of Love. I really enjoyed that.
I was so excited to save this for Valentine's Day. I was like, I don't think this fits anywhere else.
Well, thank you all for joining us for another episode of Posh and Plastic. We'll be here next Thursday with more 90s and 2000s chatter. Don't forget, today is the last day to enter into our giveaway. You just need to send us a screenshot of your rating and review. So make sure you write out a review. Send us a screenshot either to our DMs or to our email, which is poshandplastic@gmail.com. And if you're not connected with us on social media, our handle is Posh and Plastic. Um, so we've got as our giveaway prize, Geek Out 90s is a card game. We've got a book on the lovely Britney Spears. We've got some cream savers. Shout out to Amber's Discontinued Snacks episode. And then we've got some Rugrats socks. So we're hooking it up. So be sure to enter. And then once you enter, you do get a free Britney Spears episode, a bonus episode of Posh and Plastic. Everyone's getting that one.
Yeah.
So make sure you enter. But yeah, we will catch you guys next week.
Bye, guys.